something about direct and indirect speech. In our previous video, we had discussed about tense forms. So it had been a long gap again. So I thought of doing direct and indirect speech in the present class. However, direct and indirect speech seems to be difficult. But when we understand the rules of direct and indirect speech, it doesn't seem to be difficult at all. Okay, so first of all, let us understand what is direct and indirect speech all about. Okay, see, when a person is talking to another person directly, it is called direct speech. Suppose a person is not there. Okay, suppose a person who was supposed to be there and he was not there in the meeting. Now, how will he understand what was the conversation that went into the meeting that he was absent in? He would definitely ask the other person who was present in the meeting, isn't it? So that person will narrate to him in the indirect form. So direct speech is a conversation with person or people directly, face to face conversation, or you can also talk in the telephone or something like that. Okay, indirect speech is something, a conversation you are talking about the event that has already occurred. Okay, so event that has already occurred, you're reporting, you're telling. Okay, you're telling the thing that has already occurred. So that is called indirect speech. So I hope this thing is quite clear. So for your convenience, I have just written, one person reports or tells the other person about what had happened or occurred. So this is called direct and indirect speech. Direct speech is a conversation between two people or people, not necessarily two people. There may be a large number of gathering also. If the people is being addressed by a person directly, it is called direct speech. Or the person directly addressing the people or gathering, it is called direct speech. In the absence of the person, if somebody is telling the same thing what the person had told, that is called indirect speech. Now I hope things are quite clear. So direct speech is a direct conversation between one person to the other, or one person with the gathering. The indirect speech is the same narration of what he had told in the absence of another person. Okay, so he is narrating the same thing that had happened. Usually in the news and all, what we see is one person, okay, tells a statement. Okay, suppose the Prime Minister of India is telling something about something about some sort of conversation. The news reporter will immediately report whatever the Prime Minister has told to the citizen, putting double inverted comma if the sentence is necessary. Okay, if the sentence has to be highlighted, they will put double inverted comma narrating that, see, we are not telling this has been told by, okay, the Prime Minister or the President or the person who has addressed the gathering. Okay, so that's it. Direct speech is a direct conversation between one person to the another. Indirect is the conversation that we are narrating or reporting to another. Okay, so let us take an example. The teacher said, please keep the noise down. See, as you can notice, there is double inverted comma here, okay, or single inverted comma, which can be used for the direct speech. However, in an indirect speech, we are not supposed to use double inverted commas or the commas. Okay, because the first rule itself tells, when the rules comes in detail, I'll go into that in detail, but however I have just taken an example to show what are the features of direct and what are the features of indirect. Okay, So direct speech has inverted commas. However, the indirect speech doesn't have inverted comma. Okay, it is narrated it is narrated in a sentence that ought to be narrated. So here the teacher said, comma, double inverted comma, please keep the noise down. So the same sentence, if someone has been narrating to somebody else, then what would be the conversation? The teacher told, the teacher told us. Now, where is this us here? It is assumed that the teacher is telling to the students. Okay. Uh, the students in the class probably, isn't it? So here us is taken as an extra word. Okay, us to keep the noise down. Please is taken as what? It's a requesting tone. However, the teacher will not request the student, isn't it? She will either order or she'll tell a statement. So here they have considered it as a statement and they have simply used the word told. Okay, the teacher can't request the students because while you are in a conversation with the person, you need to understand the relationship of that person and the mannerisms that we ought to give to one person to another. Okay, so that also we should bear in mind. However, I'll tell everything in detail when we come across the rules there. Okay, so direct and indirect speech. See, I have put it in a simple word so that you can understand it. So, what is direct speech? Direct and indirect speech are very important concept of grammar. It is a conversation which takes place between two or more than two people. Okay, I hope this is clear. I had been telling it may be a conversation between two or it may be a conversation between two and more people. It doesn't matter, only two. More people can also join in this direct and indirect speech. Okay, what is the context? Direct is directly you are speaking to the person. Indirect is you are narrating whatever that has occurred. Okay. A direct speech is one where the conversation takes place directly face to face. Where the conversation takes place directly face to face. It is also in present tense form. An indirect speech is one where the conversation takes place between two or more than two people as in the reported form. It is narrated as it was done earlier. Past tense form is used for the narration in indirect speech. This is one more thing you need to understand. While speaking directly, if the person is directly, see, suppose if I am talking to my sister face to face, so that conversation would be direct. Unless and until I'll be taking somebody else's example that he has told like that, she has told like that, and I'll be narrating to my sister. However, the conversation that I'll be telling to her will be direct, isn't it? Or if I am talking to my friend face to face, the conversation to my friend would be direct. If I am talking to my friend about somebody else, of some other context, that would be indirect speech. Or if that friend goes and narrates my opinion to somebody else, that she has told like this, okay, she has such opinions, he has told like this, he has such opinions. So that conversation depends on who the speaker is and what is the relation with that speaker. Along with that, see, you need to understand that direct speech will always be in present tense. However, the indirect speech will be in past tense because obviously, well, when two people are speaking or two or more people are speaking with each other, conversation would be direct, isn't it? In present tense form. Because see, now I am taking the class, now I am doing the class, I am recording the class, this is direct. But say for example, if I look into this class after 1 month or 1 week or 1 month span, this would have already gone into the past tense sequence, isn't it? So present tense and past tense also matters a lot in terms of direct and indirect speech. So this is what exactly it has been told. So, okay, it is enough that we have known about the theory of all those things. Now let us move into the rules so that this becomes quite easier. Okay, so this was just an introduction to the direct and indirect speech. So I hope you have liked this introduction. Direct is the conversation between two people in front, face to face, or they may be having a conversation over phone. Indirect is the conversation that has been narrated, okay, that the opinion that you have about somebody or somebody else has told about somebody else. So this type of conversations are called indirect speech. Okay, so direct speech is always considered in present tense form. However, indirect speech is always considered as past tense form. Now let us move on to the rules of direct and indirect speech. Okay. So in order to make direct and indirect speech easier, we need to understand certain rules of direct and indirect speech. Okay, so what are those rules? So we will be seeing in the next video. I hope you had understood or you have clearly understood the concept of direct and indirect speech. In our next video, we will be talking about the rules of direct and indirect speech so that the concept will be quite clear. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye.